Hello everybody and welcome to your general weekly reading for the week beginning November 13th, 2017. This week I will be using the Mystic Fairy Tarot card deck by Barbara Moore. How are you doing? How are you doing this month? How is October for you? How is the first few days of November treating you? I hope that you have been just cruising along through this lesson time and that you've been able to really connect with yourself and all of the stuff that's been coming up for you this week. Hopefully you got some chances this week to be a hermit a little bit and be by yourself, because I think that's the most healing thing that we can do for ourselves, is just kind of containing our energy and really connecting in with ourself and our own needs and all of that stuff. So connecting in with the energies of this week, it actually feels a lot like solar plexus stuff. So that's just the top of your gut, right underneath, or I guess right above your belly button, we'll say. That's your power center. That's your confidence. That's your creative voice, all of that stuff. So your bravery, and also a lot of career stuff, being willing to move forward in your career and having the confidence within yourself to go for whatever you need to go for, or whatever is ringing true for you that you feel that you deserve or that you're wanting to work towards. So lots of that stuff coming up this week. It doesn't feel overly intense, but another week of hermit behavior might really do you good. So if you're feeling called to do that, the power to you. I think that's probably the best thing for you again. This might be a good week again to address the career aspect, and think about the things that you want in your career, things that are missing, or even just the things that make you feel empowered in your life, and maybe some ways that you can bring those back in. It might be worth addressing. So I just want to take a moment to remind everybody that I'm filming this on November 11th, which in Canada is Remembrance Day, and it's a time to look back and appreciate all of those who have sacrificed for our freedoms. And I think that goes beyond just the First and Second World War. That goes for everybody every day who's fighting for freedom, anybody in the past. From the very first time that somebody's freedom was being threatened or somebody felt called to a greater cause. So it's really important sometimes, it's really important all the time to remember and appreciate and to live life to the fullest in honor of those who have sacrificed for you. But it's just a good day. It's a good reminder, Remembrance Day, to just take that time at least once a year to really sit and reflect and to almost dedicate the day to those who sacrificed so that you could have that freedom. And that goes for anybody, anywhere who's ever done anything. And it's also a really good reminder for us to maintain this freedom and to dedicate democracy really to those people who have fallen for us and who have sacrificed anything for anyone else's freedom. I think you need to maintain and support their legacy by staying true to yourself and to bringing love to the world. And hopefully in our lifetime, the conflict resolution strategy is no longer war, and hopefully we can get to a more, we'll say, productive, less violent way of coming to resolutions between countries or whatever it is. So I am now reminding all of you to take time to remember all of those who have fallen for you and for your loved ones, and to carry on their legacy by maintaining democracy and fighting for your rights and never shutting up and not allowing anybody to try to intimidate you or scare you into thinking that you don't have a voice. You have a voice, and it's important that you stay strong and that we maintain the rights that we already have, and that we stand up for people who don't always have a voice, and those who maybe other people are not listening to. So that is going back as well to the power center. I'm kind of realizing that now. Stand up for people who can't stand up for themselves. Help people find their voice and empowerment. And that, you give a healing, you get a healing. If you are having trouble in your life standing up for yourself, listen to the advice that you're giving to other people. If you're telling people to go and they say they need to go and confront somebody and you're telling them they need to go and do it, have you done that yourself? Are you practicing what you're preaching, basically? And if you are, can you help people develop those skills that they can feel empowered enough to speak for themselves? So that would be a very healing, loving act that you can do for yourself and also for others. Anything else before we get started? Yeah, there we go. So, moving on to the reading. Let's see what the fairies have in store for us this week. We're using a fairy deck. Oh man, collision, stubbornness. Release what no longer serves you without trying to fight. Let go. If something's not working, just let it go. And revisit it if you have to. Just acknowledge things. So sometimes our ego doesn't want to let things go, but we know that it's not really working anymore. So take a look at your life and what are you forcing to happen and what's kind of causing some collision in your life. Wow, I cannot shuffle today. Okay, what do we need for the general theme? November 13th, week of November 13th. Okay, middle, and end. It needs to be just right. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, perfect. So we have the Queen of Pentacles here for the general theme of the week. I'm just trying to get some information. So the Queen of Pentacles, the Pentacles represents the physical world, so money, job, security, all of that. And just kind of looking at this reading, we do have 2 cards at least for a Pentacles. So very third dimensional reality focused week this week. So what's your job? Do you like it? How's your money situation? Are you being responsible? All of that. So the Queen of Pentacles here. Kind of what I'm getting from this is the Queen can be you or it can be someone in your life, or it can just represent a feminine aspect. And the Queen, yeah, so it's kind of about counting your blessings this week. So you may be sitting on your throne wanting more, or just kind of looking around and observing the world around you, and you may be feeling like you're not being fulfilled, or that you're missing out on things, or that you want more or different things. It's really important that you have gratitude for that which you do have in your life, and that you are actively aware of all of the abundance that you do have in your life, and that, you know, whenever you're starting to feel nervous, focus on service. So you know, donate your money or your time, or even give money to somebody on the street that's panhandling or anything like that. And we don't want to be judgmental as well. So just trying to sit in a place of love and acceptance for people, excuse me, people around you in your life, and trying to bring compassion. And if this is a person coming into your life this week, a female, try to teach, I guess. So show the way, show, you know, what we just discussed is like practice what you preach. So if you do believe that, you know, somebody in your life could be handling something a bit better, you can approach it with love. You know, you can't boss people around or tell them what to do, but you can show them the way by practicing what you're preaching. And give them the practical tools. And so this Queen is entering into your life. If this is a person coming into your life, they are here to show you this lesson. And it's also a mirror. So just being grateful for what you do have, and not trying to come from a space of lack, because queens are never queens are never in lack. They can just sit there and have everything brought to them, and just so realizing that you are that queen, that you do have everything that you need at your disposal, and you just need to basically appreciate what you have around you. If things aren't coming to you fast enough, that's okay. You just have to let it go and, you know, focus on something else. We talked about the collision. So if you're trying to force something to happen in your life, then maybe it's not for you. Sorry about that. My computer is going crazy. Okay, so moving on to Seven of Swords here. So they're saying letting go. So this is about letting go. So again, letting go of those things that don't serve you, or trying to force something to happen that's not happening, and instead stepping back and having great gratitude and for all of the abundance that you do already have in your life. And so this, in this photo, they're drawing my attention obviously to this flower here. So this flower is starting to wilt away, and the fae in this image in particular, she's trying to give it life by giving it beautiful healing water. And so for this, the vines are starting to creep up around her, and soon eventually they will engulf her, and she'll be left with being completely engulfed by it. So being cognizant of what is the flower, what are you giving all of your energy to, and what are the thorns? So what is creeping up around you and eventually will fully encase you and trap you in? So is there something in your life that you're giving too much energy to or too much life to that's not going to be productive for you anymore, and that eventually will trap you? Or they keep saying suffocate. Suffocate is not in the deadly way that it sounds, not to actually prevent you from breathing, but suffocating you almost like, you know, closing in on you and tightening itself around you so that you can't move, basically. So what is that in your life that's happening? So just being cognizant of that and being willing to let go of anything that is causing you any sort of stress or feeling trapped or anything that's really not working. It's really time to let it go. There's no more time for this. It's going to hurt you in some way or another. And because this is a general reading, we don't know what that is. But just trust your gut on whatever that is. If you're trying to make them budge and they're not working or they're not flowing, maybe take a step back for a little while, and maybe it'll just magically happen on its own. But we don't know if we're trying to control things too much. And that's what the thorns almost can be, is like, are the thorns that are creeping up around you, is it your own ego? Is it your own drive to make this work no matter what? Well, maybe it just needs a break, or maybe you just need to step away from it for a little bit to look at yourself and to protect yourself. Are you being nurtured? Are you giving everything you can into this external project? Well, what about yourself? What are you leaving for yourself? Okay, so then the middle of the week, we do have Ace of Pentacles. So this is a good card. This is just a beginning. So Ace is the beginning. And a Pentacles, again, is the physical world. Sorry, I should mention the Seven of Swords is the intellectual side. So it's your mental body. So it's very mentally driven in the beginning of the week. What are you mentally putting all of your energy into? And what is overtaking you? So going back, to the middle of the week, the Ace of Pentacles. So we are beginning a journey. This is a new beginning in the physical sense. So if you find a new job or you get offered a new opportunity this week, pay attention. Obviously, always open your arms to new experiences, but trusting your gut on what's right and what's wrong for you. Yeah, and maybe start a new money saving strategy this week. It might be a good week to invest. Not, in super risky things, but maybe it's time for you to okay, I'm going to automatically transfer in this amount of money into my future fun account or my traveling fund. So I'm going to actually make this happen. It's the beginning of a new adventure, but you're actually putting the dreams into physical reality. So coming back to this abundance, you may feel like you don't have the means to make your dreams a reality. Well, you do. You just have to step back and actually open your arms to the opportunities that are there, and not trying to force anything into happening that shouldn't be happening. Yeah, so basically new beginnings. So I hope that's a really fun adventure for you this week. Okay, and so now we have 6 of Cups here. So Cups are emotions. This is for the weekend. So Cups, yes, the emotional body, the emotional life. So reflection, and going within, into the self, into the emotions as always. But what do those emotions have to teach you? And if any emotions, if you did have any sort of conflicts recently, you might find yourself reflecting upon it this weekend, and I would utilize that energy to do so, to reflect upon the decisions that you've made or the things that you have said to people, and perhaps some resolutions may be on the horizon. So this was upside down, and in this tarot deck, that means that it's of significance. So this is significantly important this weekend. So if you do find yourself reflecting, just kind of roll with it, and that's amazing. Try not to get, obviously don't beat yourself up if you did anything that you see as wrong or hurtful. You know, all you can do is just make amends and move forward, and just kind of have, this is it's a space of reflection within the self. So take time for yourself this weekend as always. Anything else? It's going to be an interesting week, as always, but it's going to be a weird week, I think. I don't really know how to describe this, but I hope that you have a fantastic week ahead. If you have any questions or anything like that, or anything you'd love to share, I would love to hear from you. You can send me an email at thejourneytospirit@gmail.com, and come and visit me at katiehunt.ca. And as always, please like and share, comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. And if you would like a private reading with me, or a Reiki session, or anything like that, you can give me a shout. I will leave all of that information down below for you. I hope that this week brings you lots of clarity, and that you are able to stand in your power this week, and to reflect on your own self and your own decisions, and make amends with yourself and other people in your life that you find that you may be carrying around some guilt about. I'm sending you so much love this week. Thank you for being here. Take care.